chase it. Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Happy Thursday to you all. I hope that you've had an amazing day and evening thus far. If not, it's about to get that much better, honey, and juicier and all that good stuff. But listen, if you're watching me live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching me from on tonight, darling. Let me know who's here. Shout your city out. Let me know. And of course, I will be getting a video chat right now from my sister who does not know that I am live. I'm live, darling. So I'm going to have to talk to you later. Bye. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my intro. As I always do, my name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled, single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a forex trader and investor, and I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So welcome. All right, y'all, we're going to have some real talk tonight. As you see in the title of the video, I'm speaking in particularly to those of you who are of the Christian faith, but this really is open to any and everybody, right? Who are not married, and you have this time of figuring out what it is you say you really want in a relationship and really being mindful of that. I have been coaching people for a long time in their relationships, and I have 2 best-selling books on relationships. And I hear often, especially in the church world, how so many people end up kind of lost in their relationships after they say I do, or even while still dating, because unfortunately the church at large has not typically done a really good job at really showcasing what the courtship dating phase looks like, and or what marriage looks like after you say I do. We kind of shun away from having certain conversations. We have demonized sex in many churches. And so you have a whole bunch of people that just think that, okay, I'm saved, you're saved, let's get in a relationship, let's get married, and everything will just be beautiful and we'll live happily ever after. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that's not how it works. It does not work that way. And the longer you take to realize what you really want and be honest with yourself, the more frustrated you'll find yourself in these relationships. And I pray to God that you don't end up being that person that ends up getting married and you're like, who did I just marry? What just happened? Because this stuff is real, y'all. It gets real out here in these streets. And we have a responsibility, we being those who are of the Christian faith and leaders, have a responsibility for having real conversation with people and letting them know what they can expect and having those tough conversations before you get too serious in a relationship with someone. Because if you don't have those conversations, if you yourself don't know what you want, you're going to be in a really, really tough situation. I'm grateful that now I can understand, being 30 plus that I know exactly what it is that I want for real. Like, I thought I knew before, but honey, trust and believe. I know for real what I want. I know honestly what I want spiritually from someone. I know what I want financially from someone. I know what I want emotionally from someone. And I know what I want sexually from someone. I know what it is that I want, and I am not in a place where I'm shy about it or can't vocalize what those things are. Because if I sit here and try to appease someone else or try to be moved by biological clocks and society and friends and family, I'm going to find myself stuck and ain't nobody say I do other than me. So why in the world would you sit here and let other people tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and you're not happy? That makes absolutely no sense. Because you're the person that has to live with them after you say, I do. And so if that's the case, let me be very clear, upfront, and honest with what is it I say that I want. And now you can determine whether that's something that you can meet, a standard that you can meet, or it's not. And if it's not, that's totally okay. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that we are not compatible. And while I'm on compatibility, let's talk about that for a moment. Because a lot of times people think that compatibility means you go to church, I go to church, I love Jesus, you love Jesus, you have a job, I have a job, you're cute, I'm fly, therefore we are compatible. No, that is not the truth. That does not mean you are compatible. Okay, you have to dig a little bit deeper than that. You have to be able to say that you don't just want to grow in love with this person, you actually want to like that person. Okay, you want to be able to understand where that person comes from, where you come from, and they understand vice versa, and really be able to see, well, how can we grow together? Matter of fact, can we grow together? Who you are today obviously should change as time progresses, as we age. But are our common goals and moral values the same, so that in the event as we grow and evolve, we can still come together on a different level? If I am someone who loves to travel, who is truly engulfed with culture, someone who loves an opulent lifestyle, it is almost guaranteed that someone who is totally content with being a minimalist will not work for me. I don't care how much they love Jesus. I don't care how they can pray the heavens down on earth. They, my friends, will not be compatible for me, because they can be content with a little tiny house. Meanwhile, I desire estates, compounds, chateaus, if you will. Okay? That's not going to work. I'm someone who wants freedom, time freedom, which then means there's a great chance, and I can boldly say this because I know it's the truth, that my husband is not a 9 to 5 person. Why? Because it takes away from his time. But if I'm not honest with myself and I start to tell myself things, well, like, he's a good person, he loves God, he loves me. He could very well love me, but if he can't love me beyond just his affection and not match with the lifestyle in which I want to live, that love won't mean anything. And this is where a lot of people get caught up, because they think that a whole relationship and marriage is just on love. It's not. First of all, a lot of people confuse love with an emotion. That's number one. So you have to feel a certain way. When you make me feel good, I love you. And so because I love you and I'm falling all over, falling head over heels, and I have butterflies and I'm singing all these R&B songs, now I'm in love. But then when life happens and you have to choose to be in love, you then realize that love is not a feeling, but it's a choice. But even with it being a choice, it still takes more than love to have a successful relationship and or marriage. You have to be willing to know, what are we coming together for? What are we coming together for? Because I honestly believe that, especially in a relationship when it comes to marriage, it should be purpose driven. I should not just be with you because I just want to be with you. I just want to be in a relationship. What is the purpose of us coming together? What are we going to do together that's going to be impactful, that I can wake up every day excited, even when life happens, because I know that we together are on a mission? But see, that's one way of thinking. That's a certain mindset. So if I have this mindset and someone wants to be with me simply because they love how I make them feel, greetings, Nana, or they love certain attributes about me, that's not going to help when I say, okay, it's time for us to go and actually be in purpose. What is the plan? When I look and see, okay, the things that I actually desire materialistically, and I see that you can't provide them, that's going to cause a problem. when I realize that I want to have a healthier lifestyle and I'm making strides to eat healthier, to work out, to exercise, and you still want to eat all kinds of junk and do nothing, we're not going to work because it's contrary to what my life is about. The equally yoke, that whole concept, it shows up in every area. So, what do you want in a relationship? And are you honest and bold enough to let the other person know? And are you willing to stay in the game until it shows up? Because I'm telling you, I've met many people that start to rationalize and justify why they're okay with being with a certain person, but like there was someone, I can't remember exactly who they are right now, but I remember watching and thinking to myself, oh wow, I would have never pictured those two together. And lo and behold, it didn't last long. And so we have to be real. We have to have those tough conversations up front. And this is the thing, in your single season, this is when you figure all of this stuff out. This is when you take the time. But what happens is a lot of people don't like to be single, so they'll hop from one relationship to another relationship. They'll date, and they themselves don't like to date themselves. So they don't know what they actually like, they don't know what they want. They're out here seeking and searching, and it all starts from within you. You need to take time for yourself so that way you're clear, you're precise, and that way when that person shows up, they already know. It's inevitable that the person that shows up for me already knows what Sharita Leon is about. it's, there's no question, right? I'm very vocal in who I am, what is that I desire, and what I'm willing to present, and what I'm willing to accept. Period. I know emotionally what I need. I know what kind of personality that I need, right? Clearly, I'm an alpha female. It's no brainer, right? So clearly, I need an alpha male. But not just an alpha male who just wants to dominate, but an alpha male who's also considerate, an alpha male who knows, who is a leader, who knows how to create a safe haven for me so that way I can truly be the feminine energy that I am and allow him to lead me. And so, with that, I can say that I'm not going to entertain or make it seem as if someone who is more of a passive gentleman, while he may be a gentleman, while he may have a lot of stuff going on for himself, he won't work for me. Right? But I'm clear on that. I know that while we are dating and courting, we're going to have conversations about what does our sex life look like after we're married. What do you believe in? What do you not believe in? Because Sharita Leon knows what she wants, what she's willing to do, what she's willing to accept. And if you don't meet that goal, and if you don't believe in certain things, honey, we have nothing to talk about. There is no need for me to know how deep you are spiritually, how you can pray and how you can, freaking pray in tongues and break down scriptures. That means nothing to me. It means nothing to me in the context of after we're done praying, after we're done laying hands, when it's time to go home, there's nothing to talk about. So you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself and really figuring out what you want, what is a non-negotiable for you, and what is something that you actually can accept. And once you know that, it's so much easier for you to weed out the people that don't align. It's so much easier to know that, okay, this does not match my purpose, it doesn't match my actual desires, my needs, my wants. So I'm not going to entertain you. But a lot of times people entertain to have company, to have that companionship. Well, after you have the companionship, what happens then? You go right back to square one, and you just wasted a whole bunch of time and energy and emotions, especially if you're a woman. We're more emotional beings. And you just invested all of these emotions and time for something that led you nowhere, with someone that you know was not going to yield you the results that you actually wanted. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I just came by here tonight, really briefly, to ask you if you're honest. honest about what you want, honest about where you're going in your life, and asking yourself if you could truly grow with the person that you're entertaining right now. Can we grow together? And us changing and us evolving, can I see what that life looks like for you? Do we have similar visions, right? Can I see myself 10 years from now dominating, being in purpose, changing lives with you? Or do I see myself 10 years from now trying to pull you with me? Or you trying to pull me in a direction that I don't want to go? That's real talk. And this is why, ladies, I'm gonna talk to my ladies real quick. Ladies, this is why it's imperative to be with a man who has vision and is clear on his vision. His vision is so convicted in his heart that when he speaks, you instantaneously want to follow. You instantaneously say, oh, I could rock with that. Because the conviction is so strong and the vision is so clear. Don't be afraid to ask, well, what is your vision for your life? What is your 5-year goal, your 10-year goal? Don't be afraid to ask those questions. Because remember, you're going to be following that around, or the lack thereof. So be clear. If they're stuttering and they're not quite sure, well, you shouldn't be sure either. I'm just saying. Especially when you reach a certain age. When you reach a certain age, you don't have time to be entertaining jokers. You don't have time to be entertaining people that are sure about themselves. And you don't have time to waste on you not being sure about what you want. Who does that? Be clear, be confident in it, and allow the two powerful mergers to come and be life-changing. But don't lie to yourself. Do you know what you want? Emotionally, financially, spiritually, sexually? Do you know what you want? And can you articulate all of that without any problems? If you can, you're on the right path. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for chiming in with me tonight, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. Let's have some better relationships, right? Let's have healthy relationships. Let's enjoy the relationships. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's love ourselves enough to give ourselves and to be open to giving ourselves the best, God's best, period. You know what kind of lifestyle you want to live. If you know that you want to travel the world and you know you want to live in nice, opulent places, let that be your truth. Don't let someone come and try to sway you and tell you how materialistic you are. No, there's a certain lifestyle you desire and you should have that. There's a certain lifestyle that I live. So because there's a certain lifestyle that I live and a certain lifestyle that I'm working towards to continue to have, the person that comes to my life has to already have that and beyond. We're not going backwards. We're not going to do. All right. So thank you for watching. If you would like to work with me personally, so I can show you how to create that lifestyle on your own, whether you are married and or single, you need to go ahead and get in my inbox so I can share with you how I can assist you in getting the bag and creating a life of freedom. Because that's what I do. Okay. I'm pretty darn good at it. All right. Thank you for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Be blessed, everybody.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire.
Get your money. Get your money.